Oh, that might help. I'm going to start over. If you'd like to join me in a quick prayer. Whose Father? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thine kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou is the power, the kingdom, and the glory forever. In Yeshua, in Jesus' name we pray, amen. That would have helped if I had to turn that on. Awesome last 4 or 5 days here with my family, and it just seems like the kingdom is expanding and growing and just stretching her beloved arms here. What a blessing. But yeah, just like I was saying earlier, and you couldn't hear me, I've just been wanting to give my family all the time while I'm here on this side of the map. And yeah, just wanted to. I'm on the west side. I want to just be west side love. There's something I wanted to share here again in this book I got from Vadim in Larch Mountain. I just got off the phone with my mother, and it's just she's surprised that they would have overrode my custody. She's been involved in every aspect of that Department of Corrections with my other 2 brothers, in ways that she could pretty much tell you all that's going on. And she's gotten hardships and where they've bent the quote rules for her on restrictions on how far to travel and stuff, because she's been, like I said, she's been intimately involved with some of the hierarchy there at DOC in Olympia. So she was real surprised that they would do that. And the reason I brought that up, I had just gotten off the phone with her, and I was thinking about Ron, old Scrappy. And thanks for your prayers, people. Thank you so much for all your prayers. That kid, he's such a good young man. He really is. And John, just to let you know, I got segments, little bits and pieces of your podcast this morning. You're doing great, man. Don't all that when you start to be human, well, in front of other people, then they see it's okay to start stepping out where other people will step out, and then there's that assembling of the saints that they want to forsake. So I'll go over that again. But yeah, most of the violent is where I was going with that, John. You said they're letting out all the, and you notice they were all violent. So every one of those 4 of the category, if I was getting that correct. And like I said, I was able to look at it just for a moment, and then the moment was gone. Because of the fact that my internet is kind of hacky, wacky, packed up. And because of that, and the weather doesn't help, doesn't get the signals to its right little repeaters. Because there's times when it's clear, this phone comes in clear as can be. Once it gets a little cloudy, it's over. So that's why once it's buffering more than my patience And long suffering, don't think it's not for the lack of patience. It's just that when it's buffering more than the time that I need to allow it, so that there's other things that I need to do. So I apologize, but I got a bit of your podcast, and the reason I brought all that up, John, is because my brother. I was just thinking about Ronnie after getting off the phone with my mother, and thank you for your prayers, by the way, you guys. This book came from there, and well, didn't originate from there, of course, but it came to me from there, and I'm just now starting to really see it and read it and this happens a lot when I open up books that I've read many times. So yeah, what a good awesome young man. And John, like I was saying, they were all violent. They're letting out all the violent people and the non-violent ones. Like I was just telling Tim yesterday, and I'll go over that. I went into Seattle and seen Tim on the north end, North Gate. And they didn't have to take his foot or legs, but they took most of his toes that we were praying over last time I seen him. But all his feet and everything were looking pretty bad. So at least they were able to. And he walks around almost like you wouldn't even, because they had taken a couple digits at a time, so he kind of got used to it. And I remember they're out in the big yard, and Walla he would. When they first took a digit or two, he was just starting to hobble around, and he was one of the ones, like was it Doug or Greg or what was his name? I have the one that got shocked off and his feet were like this. But he it was a blessing. We all get healed. We heal each other from our faith. We just the Lord uses that to kind of use us. Oh, and yeah, don't it? I love you, Alex, but brother, I shared anyway because that's how. It's because I love you, and I just, and it's good to listen and consider. But that's pretty. It's a lot of that's you got it going on, but. Just on the surface, it would seem. And again, we're all learning, and it's a beautiful thing to not know everything. The joy is in the journey. But you were on it there for a little while, and then you got off just a little bit, because these senses it'll be talking about here in this book. Yeah, I looked this book up. This book right here by old Fred. I think it's B. Yeah, F.B. Meyer. Let's see. And I haven't seen one like it. Now, normally, I knew there was something different about this. And like that Manny, he was, there was a time when I would have broke down weeping getting this equipment here. FB, yeah, I'm sure it is. FB Manning. When the man was looking at my son, this obviously a messenger and a confirmer of the things to be. And you're right, Alex, about is, was, and it's all that. The time is different than what we're used to. Yeah, it's F.B. Meyer. It's it doesn't say Fred in here. I found out his name was Fred when I looked it up this morning. Something told me to just take a little peek, because like I said, I don't usually do religious books because I hadn't done very well on them, and I don't move material that I'm not going to be able to enjoy, first of all. because just because things are old, I found out, and even first editions don't mean they're valuable in the world of antiquities, especially in books. But this one, the first edition that looked similar to this, not quite as nice. Of course, this is like cord linen on board, but really nice. That's why I kept it tight copy, and that beautiful green and those gold flowers. So that's why I held on. That's why I held on to it. Like I said, it was in there for 2 years. I don't know how that got left behind. And then this address right here, I thought was kind of, that fell out. That address right there. Oh yeah, that focuses in real nicely. Yeah, my fingers are still, because I finally got that thing. Oh man, it sings like an angel, just like an angel. But yeah, non-violent ones, John, and just like my bro, he's such a good young man. Can be what would be perceived as violent if you've crossed him, or he might think that. I know, like, well, that's dangerous. No, he's got at least enough of his scruples together at this point where he'll overreact, way overreact, but he won't. He's one of them he's not a hee-ho woman hater type. He's never been like that. He doesn't have those kind of tendencies, which is a blessing. Which makes it even that much more of a crying shame that he just, gosh. And she says to me, oh God, I gotta love her. Well, it's been so long. I says, well, that's because right now, John, and we're back to this again, Mr. Hall. Yeah, they're letting all these people out, and you notice how you said offender. That's a new thing. And once you're in the, and I'll show you guys in a minute just how my phone's been right on Elizabeth. Exactly. As soon as once you've been in the loop, in the realm of things enough to where you can not only emotionally but empathize and completely have to almost become the environment that you're in. That's why I said it was. Whew. What about all them ones I had to choke back? He said, oh, let me show you that room. Let me show you here. Because I was like, man, why do I feel that way? Once I started to seek the truth we're becoming, that's all it is. It's the knowledge that it's always been there. We're just starting to be entrusted with it enough to, like, why am I? He says, you're just. And it was a refining process at the same time, and almost like a test in a way. And have you considered my servant old Royce Steen? I seen a thing on Royce and Benz and Rolls came along, and he said, well, how about instead of Royce Roll, how about Rolls Royce? Anyway, I'm getting off track. I watched this history thing and fell asleep last night. And oh no, sweetheart, I don't. Well, then why would you sleep in that bed? Well, because the arrangements around here are much different. Thank our Heavenly Father. Mikey's here. What a blessing. And because I didn't always just do that for myself. I've got my flesh in order. And oh, don't think that I don't. I just don't allow it any space in my mind enough to conceive. I could go there. I just don't. Oh yeah, I just and there's been enough time now and space to where I can do that and not only that, there's actually literally enough space that I can do that. So for my wife becoming Boy, I can't wait. Then, yeah, just to let you know, I don't do that. I'm not, but you probably already knew that because you would have known. So, oh, and again, let's see, I better go ahead and just, speaking of which, whether that is actually comes to fruition or not, it's coming to fruition for me. Which I'm really happy and have been announcing for a while now. God, it's been, should I look back now? Or this morning, me and Donnie were talking, it's been, and if I was to actually just be honest with myself, which I do, but I mean in the sense that I hate to venture, which is math. I don't like to have to start thinking this stuff. I would almost rather say it's not, but I know you have to have, thank God for our engineers and aeronautical engineers and stuff. Otherwise, I would have had a rough time making it over and thank God for that, because like I said, I know some people that were putting those old planes together, and we used to call them Boeing for a reason. But yeah, so this is why. Let me show you. Now watch it make me out to be a thou shalt not lie. Now watch, it'll just go round and round the mulberry bush. This is my, well, here, let me just go. Oh, you dirty sucker. It did. Now let's see if it's gonna work though. Watch. So it did. Now usually it'll just go round and round. It might pull it in, but usually it'll pull it up by now. I went to the donut factory, and this is what happens when I'm on. And again, that's why I don't get too chummy while I'm here, because I'm not led to, and I want to pay all of my attention to whoever I'm with. Definitely love the one you're with while you're, and wherever you go, there you are. You take our Heavenly Father. So it's just an order of things. So I'm trying to be overly polite and not. But then I have this too. So even if I was able to sneak in once in a while, say, "Hey, good morning" or something like that, so don't think I'm being rude, Tori, and all that. So I'll share it when I can. This is the same issue I had when I was going to share the message from the health department, which I've saved and I will share. Oh, and on here though, this runs fine because I'm off that I called it a server before, many years ago. It's been so many years looking back. I got off track. Good thing I did too, because people would think, God, how could you do that? Seriously. Well, it's easy when you know that, when you've seen some things I've seen, and it's like just a little further, and I'm like, man, after a while, I mean, I got angry after a while there. Just a few years back, I would get just smoking Joe Frazier angry, just saying, what is up? I see this and this, those are things advancing all around. I want to know why I'm not getting this green light, because I've learned to listen and pay attention, even if I don't like it. Alex. Yeah, some of that was just love you so far out there. But it's okay, because, man, when it comes right down to it, it's about that heart. And once you come to a realization and then you depart from that, which it's just all in black and white, which we'll get to here in a few. But yeah, so I thought I'd do a real quick, because I have some ground to cover, and I'm going to discuss with my daughter. Hopefully she'll have my little Lily back here pretty soon, and I can show her off to you guys, because she's usually a good 97%. Oh, she's such a good baby, but in a joyful mood enough to where She's mostly always laughing and smiling and singing. Of course, she discovered her voice, and she squeaks and squeals, and she'll sing, and the little. Well, she'll probably show you. So yeah, what a blessing! What a blessing! So that's why, even if it was working, like I said, if the clouds were, we were getting a nice, good. And it seems like lately the reception has been worse and worse and worse. It's never been really this bad. And so he's like, Dad, do you realize it's been? And I said, just like this morning with my boy, I'm like, oh my gosh, well that means that's been since I've, and I knew that was a question that came up. Bed. Did I hear you say yes? But that's we've gotten to that point now where we can do that. I could there for a while, but it wasn't for my benefit. Although it was. See, used to think, man, it ain't. Hey, you got to be the one that changes. Yep, that's right. You sure do. And and that could very well be true, and most likely is. But it's got to come right here first. Then you can, and then if they don't, you just do it. What do you do? Nothing but pray and be a good example, and it takes, if nothing else, that conviction, and not to do it for that reason. It's just love. It'll happen. It's just going to happen. There's that. Things have been peaceful and joyful. Oh, I can't believe it. It's, well, actually, I can. I can believe it. Completely. As far as the east is to the west, I can believe it. Oh. Just as plumb true as plum pie. It's coming. It's coming, damn it. It's a coming. I keep looking that way because my son, he's bound to run out of here and crack me up. He's been busting up some pretty good ones. He's almost got the shop. It's a pretty good size double bait. I took the vehicle in this morning. And that's when I was able to get, Tori's got a thing. And then this morning, like I said, I was able to share some here, but I'm not able to share to Twitter from the this computer anymore, because I've lost the misplaced the how to log in and stuff. Of course, I've been accused of changing it so many times, and was almost this close to trying to defend myself, and heard you need not, because, well, if you wouldn't have to, and because what would have followed, I'm sure, and I could almost taste it. It was right there on the end of my tongue. Was, well, I wouldn't have to because that's actually beautifully enough said. It's almost like that pleasant aroma, and that song when you hear it, just that pitch and that harmonious sound just resonates in your whole being. So yeah, things joy and really just because there's no that emotional deal. Why would I go through all that again? For what? For whose benefit? That's right. I got the big boy cup. It's her beer stein. It was just one of the Puyallup, Washington 2000 Oktoberfest Northwest. Yeah, this is just something that was up in the cupboard that was clean. So I grabbed it. Oh, what do we have here? And then I'll get to it. What do we have? see what this is. Grand Funk. No, we're not doing that. It sounds like whining and wailing and mourning, and I'm not in the mood for that. Let's see, so Mr. Oh, that's right. I was going to get to that. I jotted some things down. And, Lily just got a text. And yes, I do get texts still once in a while. Sometimes a day late. Just depends on the reception, like I said. But, yeah. I don't know. I just want to kind of laugh about that. But Lily, 13 pounds, 7 ounces. We all guessed today she went and got weighed. And now I'm bragging, but I was doing my little sit-ups there, and my little silly handed me little Lily, and I said, oh, and I guessed, I said I guessed it between 12 and, but then of course I cheated a little bit, because even Twana says you got to get right on. And I think she did say, she didn't say 13.7, but there, I said I won because it's got my numbers on it right there. It's got 13.7. Yeah, right. But I'm sticking with it because that's what I'm fitting to do. I've already done it, so it's a done deal. Oh, she's singing songs and. No, we're singing those songs. And then those little popcorn toes, not to be confused with movie night. And it doesn't even have to be with, I would have liked that, but like I said, it's almost, it's just, things are just going the way they're going. But that movie night, not to be confused, that popcorn toes with those popcorn toes, because But yeah, she likes that when in her little hands, and she starts singing songs. What a beautiful little angel. Yep, and she's just an all, well, they're all good babies, but I'm talking about she's not fussy. She doesn't fuss at all. She sleeps and she likes to cuddle. And she just smiles and she's always laughing and smiling, and of course it helps if you love her as much as I do. And let's see. Oh, poor Tim. I went and seen Tim. Not poor Tim in the sense that he's doing real well. They haven't managed to kill him. He got out of the penitentiary there. One of the offenders there, John. One of the many, many innocent offenders that they were trying to keep in. I'm gonna go get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Just give me a break. Oh, I got my Seaside, my little silly, my Silso, Seaside, Oregon. They got me this shirt while they were... Yeah, when I got out. Wait. Was it before I handed myself over to... Anyway. Because then he's trailing off. He's going to start... Tommy get wingy. And I think her name was Helen. Now, see, I'm thinking about going up to the... is it Labor Day or Memorial Day? I always get them two mixed up. I think they're going to have that. And I want to see if Helen's up there. I usually don't do a whole lot on Saturday. Certainly don't do labor unless it's helping somebody. And I certainly don't try to throw any money around. But it's open now for the first time. Gosh, it's been a while. But Helen, yeah. Oh, Helen from the... That would have been kind of neat. But I didn't plan for it because I try not to plan a whole lot much these days. Although it's okay to have some ideas. I'm learning to, my son said, but Dad, That was the last minute taking that flight. I said, yeah, but I was able to wring out a few more days, you see. I was able to wring out a few more days, and I was led to cut. And Jeff, thank you guys for your prayers. And I tried to hook up with Ron. And yes, I'm going to get the coffee and stole a shotgun. And I'm going to go see Mom before I take off again. Like I said, I just got off the phone with her. Got a few more people I'd like to see before I take off. But, oh man, the joy is so in the journey. Then I got a few other things I'll go over here in a minute. But, yeah, be right back. Oh yeah, it's been quite a few years since I've been with another woman like that. Actually, over 25 with, but several with just any woman. Even living in the same house. Let's see which one sounds better, this one or this one. Ooh, I actually like that one better. I'm going for the left one this time. Only because a lot of people say, God, you got this. Matter of fact, it kind of got not thrown in my face, because that can't happen. It can be thrown at the feet, kind of like dust. You choose to just walk around it, or. But didn't your son have a hang up on? And I said, well, I don't know about a hang up. No, was. You mean in love with? But so yeah, some people, and in this day and age, it's hard to find people that are, committedly, that are committed to fidelity and honor and integrity and just completely, just all out patient, because my impatience has gotten me in some serious. Man, Miss Pickle, she's told me just yesterday. She says, yeah, I still use that. And I said, yes, and I know you do. And there isn't one speck of anything. No, nothing. That stuff will kill. She even now, she don't even have to edge her, and her yard is, it's pristine. She keeps it, it's getting too much for her, though. She's getting too old for that dang yard, because she likes it a certain way. And if you like it that way, well, all your time. I told her, listen, the other day, I said, what I would suggest, if you want my opinion, is I would get and do like you did the other side right there. Do the whole, all kind of like a yard of rockery, kind of just do this, have some, land, an architectural landscaper, uh, and I could do something like that, but she would want somebody that would, and then she wouldn't have to deal with anything, no grass at all. Because she, on the other side where there's rock and has been for years, she just goes with her along with everywhere else where there's concrete and a crack and sprays that. But yeah, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to start anything. Some Miss Pickle, but for years, and she's been doing it, and it saves. It really probably is his, because that woman is so fanatical about. It's probably done the environment some real good, some justice. So in that sense, it's pretty good. Pretty good odds there for. She's one of them dedicated. She needs to get rid of all that grass because that's what's driving her batty. I wouldn't care. After, if it ain't dog poop, then I'm stepping in and tracking around. I told you, we went over that. It's one thing to step in it. It's a whole nother thing entirely to track it around. But if it ain't that, a few weeds ain't gonna bother me none. I don't care. Don't bother. It does not. But yeah, when I found that out years ago, it was an easy way to. And she just. But yeah, so let's see, what was I gonna say about Miss Pickle? And yeah, thanks for your prayers over my brother, both of them. Would have been nice to see him, but instead I was able to visit with my cousin Jeff, who happens to be staying at my mother's and doing very, very well. And I'm actually really happy to hear that because he's such a good man himself. That would be Crystal Nyland, the one that was at the jail the day I handed myself over to the dragon again. Just this last time, didn't realize I would have never ever been able to do that ever on my own, ever, never. Don't you ever, never, ever. Ooh, I made a Cadillac out of that one. I put some chocolate in there. Whew. Just been running, people. Just running and trying to give everybody full attention and seeing people while I'm here. And like I said, my phone's been acting. It's been bugged up. It's been in a pickle itself. It's been getting a little. He said, no, don't pull the weeds up with it. Just let them grow together. And the way I received that because I was led to really pay attention to that. And like I said, looking back now, I get accustomed to that sense. That other sense that gets heightened, that tuition. It's something that just strikes a chord in you, and you just know it. At least I do. I know. He asked me yesterday, that would be Tim. Not Timmy. Timmy. I should, like I said, I should probably try to call him again. He's got my number. He's out. The one I got moved into our room, me and Brian Stark. Oh, and I found all them numbers. I did. I found that his name is Greg. His name was Greg. Greg, something. The dude that intimately knew Kurt Cobain. My sick Isaac's buddy, the rug of mine, the old El Rugo. But the 2 or 3 days while I was waiting for transport was actually really cool because when I told him about, so I listened, and then I waited. He looked at me like, man, you were listening to me, and how'd you hold all that in, knowing that I just waited and waited till he was, I said, oh, really? He's like, oh, yeah, I know. And I was like, uh-huh. I said, oh, Isaac, he has, and he's like, yep. I said, man, and once I started, I said, man, I know Lulu, and know all about the monastery, and Tiny, and old Isaac, Sick Eye. You guys call him Sick Eye now. And then when I told him about that thing I got out of that storage unit, boy, his jaw just about dropped also. He's like, man, you should have punched that dude square in his mouth. You should have took that back, especially if he was all... He was like, I got one up on you, and he was... he was high-sighting at the same time, like, oh, what you just gave me? It just almost like a child. He was probably a college student. It didn't really bother me. I'm happy that he got it. But had I known, I would have probably kept it for a while and enjoyed it a little bit more. Because I do that, and then I don't care. Then I send the most rarest, craziest stuff down the road. Just because first of all, I don't like getting those trails going. And I know that's mean when I say, well, they're not making shows about, because they are. They're making shows about the most retarded shit. You're right, Mr. L. Just retarded, dumb, stupid schnizel. I'm glad to see you're back from your trip. And all in one piece. And, of course, always praying and prayer and fasting. But, yeah. He's out. And I think he's getting fished. Not noodled like I've done. See, that's a reverse catfish. I'm talking noodles, and it'll shoot the moon. Old muskrat moon cheese mania. Always got him muzzled up. But yeah. Oh, noodles. Talk about all you can eat pasta, see. But yeah, I've always been interested in your, and I didn't know why, because I was like, what? And then when I found out that you were, I said, man, this man might have had to lock me up. And I heard you darn right he would have. And because you deserved it. I said, yeah, I know. But I didn't understand, just like today is a little more clearer than yesterday. And that's the thing. That's what keeps me just becoming a little more patient and just keeping that flesh in. Because I know. It's just a matter of time. I just got to maintain my integrity and not let my carnal desires, lusts, and wants to get in the way of eternal bliss. Because you want to talk about something epic. You want to hear about something epic. I'll tell you. Oh, when those two become one flesh. And then that's about as close as you can get right here to heaven, right here when you're able to, in our Heavenly Father and in the Spirit, are able to just crash and collide. Just boy, you want to talk about sweat lodge and heat, but everybody is out gobbling the wrong goo. So yeah, Mr. L. Oh, that's a good one. Running Beaver. That's a real good one. That I used to. Beaverton, Oregon. Every time I've made that run so many times up I-5, and the fun we had there. And then, of course, Dyke Road was always a good one. They're coming right out of Oregon on the left-hand side there by Longview, Kelso. Why do I bring this stuff up? Well, because I get strange once in a while, and this is how I'm able to express what might be considered as frustration. So do you get my conversation, or do you need a demonstration? Soon enough, he said, just a little further, son. Oh, God, Daddy, please. Abba. What's his name? Well, of course, it's Abba. Yahweh Father. Father, Abba, Father. Yep. Abba. Huh. Anyway, speaking of Abba, Father, my grandson last night, because like I said, he'll sleep. He'll sleep one of two places. But last night he put a Band-Aid on me. And I noticed it today. Right here on Mickey. Right on Mickey. Right here. Right where that surgeon, I remember floating out of when they were cutting, and she made sure, I seen her cutting to the side. There was a bunch of them. The other were guys, but she was the one doing the cutting. Not the Middle Eastern, not the Indian lady that was responsible for the count of those surgical gauze sponges or whatever they are. But he put this on my Alpha Alexa. That's, of course, he's still watching the and it's funny because he hadn't for a while, but he's watching one of them shows that we thought he would just grow out of, but he wound back around and started watching it again. But let's see, what else was that? So Mr. L, there was something, Beaverton, and there was something else. Oh yeah, about the computer. When I'm going through this, my server, the router, the computer has no problem. It's the phone that, like I've mentioned before, and I remember when laptops first came out that there was something you could plug in the side of there was a port in the side of the laptop, and it had an antenna on it. Forrest had one quite a few years back, and matter of fact, we're heading to Maine when I seen that, so that was back in, let's see, 06, and I was gone for 4, so that was 02 or so. And I was thinking, well, I wonder why a person couldn't just get one of those and that way you wouldn't have to be logged in somewhere in order to get this kind of, is what I'm saying, I guess. It's because I can't get this mobile to work, but this one right here, because of the hotspot and the booster thing and all that, works fine. But what happens when a fool is wanting to run a video on the side of the road? Man, I'll save a lot of money sleeping out with the cactus in the... Oh, that was great, Mr. L. God, I love you so much. Like I said, I was led to follow you years ago and didn't understand quite why. But then didn't really understand myself a whole lot either, and is becoming more accustomed to... And yeah, I'm not trying to... But yeah, oh man, it's been awesome following you the last few months, Alex. Don't it? That's awesome. Learn something from all different sides. It's just amazing. And let's see, John, violent, I already went over that. The violent offenders, that's the key word too, offender. It went from convict, inmate, there was a few other ones, but it just slipped my mind because I'm looking at the song that just came out. Oh, I wanted to show you. I got a long cord on here. I was going to show you guys the vehicle, but I'll probably pull over and just show you that once I'm on the road. Shouldn't be more than a few days, but like I said, now everybody's starting to lighten up. Francis on the masks, on the old Elon Musk's mania is starting to subside, and so yeah, like I said, but it wasn't meant for me to do it. Otherwise I would have picked a bunch of stuff. And like I said, this was one of the things that I had for a couple years is that book, and I seen one close to it, and it's $100. It was the first edition. So in some cases, like this one here, it's that religious stuff is, the older stuff is can be worth a few bucks. So, and then things have changed a lot also since I was really into the book scene thing. And I'm not talking about like, which I just watched her last night on Pawn Stars, but just books and just older books in general that are at least 100 years or older. So let's see, what else was it? Let me mark these off because I got a bunch of stuff mixed up here with a list of stuff when I get, just because I got a lot going on, and if I don't, and I've always had, like I said, a list, I just don't, as far as like planning it. If I get to mark it off and add something else to it, hey, thank you, amen, then I get to, if not, and sometimes they don't get added to the new piece of paper, but I try not to waste any. Let's see, went over Lily. Oh, what a beautiful thing, my little Lily. I've already got that. Lucas. Oh, my buddy Rick. Remember Rick, his son-in-law Eric, who's married to his daughter Emily, gave me a ride down to see Owen down at the Patriot March there in the Riverside Park in Oregon. I just spoke to him today. He's getting out of the hospital. He had that crap there, and the phone just started really breaking up bad, which is, like I said, not anything that I got. I just knew that the phone's been really And I think getting a new phone is going to help that part of it. But, so I called him back today and asked him, because I was right in the middle of asking him how he got the flu like that, or how he knew that he, and he said that he'd had flu-like symptoms today when I finally got a hold of him when I was at the shop. Put the atomizer in there one more time and did a few more things. And he said that he had flu-like symptoms, and he went in to get tested, and they told him that he had that flu. So they called it the 99 there. Those chickens, I think they had the 99. Or the G something. It was G something. And anyway, he's getting out of the hospital now, and he wants to go out to have a bite to eat. Sounds like the washer's done. I'm going to go swap them over here pretty soon. So I thought that was kind of interesting. He's the one that does the real estate inspections. Really nice guy. Good Christ-like man. Him and Alonzo would get along great, about the same age, but Alonzo, he's so dang ornery, you know. No pigs over there. I got nosy and snooped over there yesterday when I drove by. Pardon me. But he, yeah, that old man. So let's see. Donut. Oh, and honeybee. And I believe that's you. So good to see you. So good to see you now again. It's a blessing. You know, see people and if not, it's still good to see. But I'd like to believe it is. Thought I'd seen you around. Thought I'd seen you around. It's just nice to see faces and whatnot. I'm gonna have to make some more coffee here pretty soon. So I think there's one more. Both 97s. I gotta get paint still so I can toy out my Yoda. Green in the Yoda part. Just as green as can be. And did I share with you my Aunt Nita? My mom's thinking about moving over there. And I said, well, that's probably the thing you should do instead of worrying about getting somebody to take care of your yard. Because you know you're going to try to be out there and do it. It's not going to be done right. They're not going to have the right ratio of vinegar and water. And they're not going to do it right. And you'd be better off over there anyway with their company and helping them out. But she has, the reason I mentioned it is Nita has that ET that she got Shane years ago when he was just a little baby. It's a toy box, has a door that she's got two of them, and he did something to it. Matter of fact, it was on her thumbnail. She used it as her thumbnail a month or so ago. But I seen it when Tawana and I, travel and all that stuff, and no. Oh, don't think it for a while. It wasn't hard. It was. Oh, it was hard. But you just have to focus on the bigger things, so that faith can be established, and then that reward is so much more. It's gratifying, and it's victorious, and all powerful, and all knowing. And when you just know, and everything just lines up. Oh man, I know, because I never thought that it was possible, and like I said, again, may not come to fruition that way. But man, watch it. I knew you'd do it, boy. Switch the laundry over. Let's see if you do that, fool. Do it. You're live. You're live, sucker. So go ahead and say something dumb. Go get him, Jackie. Go get him. The laundry hasn't. You can't always get. This is what I need to. We need to send this out to him. Just passing mail, son. If you don't like what you get. Oh, yeah. This was back when. And who was this? We swapped this out for Stevie Nicks at Fleetwood Mac, the little clown up on that pony show. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I'm gonna show him the vehicle in a minute. Most of them won't care, but there are some that will. I don't really like the color. Well, it's not that I don't like it. It's just it's not one of my favorites. Red only works sometimes for me. I'm more of a blue and green kind of guy. Except the painting, the one that was up there. Anyway, now I'm starting to. He's trailing off now. Oh, Helen. You look like a Helen, he said. I had no idea they were going to do that. I would have called Helen. Hey, Helen, check it out. I would have picked. If I was led to, well, then I would have had to have the family with me because I've been spending a lot of time and I wouldn't have time. Pick, till I had a load up there. She said, Roy, absolutely. I'll make room. And made some room. Just like I will find. You got to find time. Not find time. You got to make time. You'll never find it. And then had some fun. Did some fellowship. And made a few bucks. Mostly just fellowship. Because I only make certain amounts on certain items. Mostly I just have fun and you have to make something or else you wouldn't be able to keep the boat afloat. Of course, the Lord said, "Oh, wait till you see that." Just like that truck trip of yours, because there was some spots, like I said, where there was no enforcer. Oh no, I did the math, bro. There's no way you should have made it. I'm not trying to be a naysayer. He said, but with that truck and how it was loaded, and you were getting 8 to 9 miles to the gallon, and oh yeah, it was confirmed by the old boys that he said, oh, and when you're loaded down, it's just a sad state of affairs. There was no gas station in between these. There's no way I should have, but I did, and it wasn't. Where two or more gather, just singing songs, and I was oblivious. If I probably did run out in some senses. The tires weren't touching the ground because I wouldn't have known it. I do know this. I did not. Was not getting reception for a while, and yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of much of anything. So let's see. Honeybee. What a blessing. Yes, what a blessing. Because, and like I said, I believe it's you. I gotta go make some. I'll be right back. Because, like I said, it's been a busy, quite a busy little trip here. Quite a busy trip. credence. Let's see. So Tim, yes, not noodled. Yeah, he's getting catfished. You know, somebody that's so wise in some areas, like I said, you have to. I said, I love you, brother. I said, have you ever met her? And I guess the same question could be asked of me. But he said, do you want to? I said, well, sure. She's just right there in West Seattle. He said, yeah. I almost wanted to add, well, yeah. I ain't going to Burien and do two birds with one stone. They say one in the hand is better than two in the bush. So, but yeah, I still helped him because I do that. The VA is supposed to move him, which is a good thing because they normally not that involved with a lot of our veterans, which thank you guys very much. And they're involved enough because he's had so many digits removed and so much stuff happened to him. The Lord is really blessing him in that regard. So he's not dying out in the streets like most of them are, unfortunately. So yeah, what a sad thing there. But yeah, what a blessing he's out of prison, because he wouldn't have made it there either. They wouldn't have paid for any of that stuff. It'd have cost way too much. That's part of the reason why he might have been. Also, he might have been. But yeah. So, but prayer. There's mighty power in prayer. Mighty power, and he looks so full alive, and all this looks like his circulation is just right on the money. He's got all color and everything in his face, and he's looks way better than the last time I seen him. Like old Wesley. I don't drink water, Roy. It's like, I know, Wes. That's why now you're. Well, thank the good Lord that I had that little hand surgery, and I don't do much of that, but something told me you get that wrist and the elbow deal because of all that chainsaw work and all the flip-flopping logs and slave labor camp, when I should have been playing ball or something. Of course, can't blame it all on but he got enough courage to go in, and they were like, whew, they took one of his, and then all that color came back to him. They took one of his big arteries out of his legs, and I think two, both one in each leg, and all he drank was that coffee creamer. No, Roy, I don't drink water. So people come into our lives, and he helped him and Connie both. They helped us, me and Donnie, out a lot. Connie and Donnie. She is something else. I just pray that there's no way to get a hold of somebody that's not one of them type that stay in contact with people. So, yeah. Just prayers is all you can do. And let's see, offenders. I already went over that, John. Oh yeah, just being yourself. That's what you got to do. Be yourself, and you'll become all you need to. Just being yourself. Just play the hand that's dealt you. And the thing is don't try not to reach. Of course, there's one thing to procrastinate, but to overreach is, oh man, that's why I know the reward is going to be so great, because I'm not even entertaining that at all. I don't do that. Although, like I said, sometimes in my sleep, I get, but I know I don't deviate, because that hungry, angry, lonely, that tired part of that halt, Uh-huh. That's right. Tired. There's that tree. And I just remember he suffered and walked just like and didn't sin, so I just know I just keep it straight, and boys, then all that burning within, there's no desire, or there is no lust like that. It's just all just completely unadulterated sincerity and truth and dependence. That's what it is. It's dependence also. See, because that's what my wife becoming us, that's what she deserves. And that's exactly who I am. That's exactly the kind of person I've always been. That always been faithful, honest, just, true, always in that sense. Always, always, always. And people that normally probably would not have been, that I was with at the time, and when I was absent, went astray, but not when I was not because of it's no casting over there. It's just, there's just things that the Lord has been instilled in His servants that attract, and things that we're not even sometimes we're able to see, because the world is out and the enemy knows, and it's a generational thing. It skews the perception of our Creator and who we truly are in that image. That image is so important, and it wants to skew that reflective state. And it's in the heart. It's that heart, that mind, and that heart. Boy, that's where the soul, the transgression of it is right there. It usually starts right there in the eyes, and finds a way right into that heart, which is wicked above most all things. Of course, who knows it? And I ask to constantly examine me, because I don't. And doing that, I'm so pleased to say I'm comfortably seated in that throne of understanding and comfort, that I'm good as long as I'm just doing what I'm doing right now. Right this very second is all I have to. Because don't think. Don't think for a minute I could sit and justify but it would be my. Did you see that little cute little onesie she had on? It said Lucky. Oh, she's so beautiful. She sings, and she's Papa's girl. Oh, yeah. Don't think. But I just don't. I don't go that route. I'm the one, spirit of truth. That reflection is not going to tarnish my walk here. If anything, it's going to all it's going to do is strengthen where I've been to secure where it is I'm going. I already know. He said to me too, I knew you wasn't going to jump. No, I'm going down with that deal, because it's all a new day. Because it's all, what seems lost is just a opportunity to find something we haven't seen and experienced. Just not even really misplaced. Once you go, just like that truck ride, I would have had no idea, because and here's the deal. It's almost like if that officer would have had printer paper in her printer, I would have passed away, because she would have had that in there fast enough. The guy would have had my car up onto the wrecker. I would have been booked out, had somebody come get me back at the or not Cloud 80, Latitude 84, right off 84th and Hosmer, and or she was lying, and I would have been in the holding tank until she went to, and I would have bled out in one of the holding tanks because it takes hours to get booked into them. So either way, it would have been over. It'd have been over for me either way. So, oh yeah. That's just how it all worked out. Every little thing. Now looking back, I was like, oh, something so small, so simple. And they said, oh yeah, it's the most easy injury to cause there with that part in your stomach. So I was wearing my seatbelt. I wasn't even going. I could have. Oh man, if I had that properly strapped down, I probably would have been able to, but I wasn't meant to. See, that's the whole thing. And takes that which isn't, makes it as if it were, as if it are. And I found that today, and I'll brush over that in a minute. Matter of fact, I'll get back to this in a minute. I'll do that right now after I show you what my daughter gave me a little Lily Grace. It's her hands and her little feet on a little chickadee. Her little. I know they're dirty, but that's what happens when you get him in the soil. But look, her little feet and her little hands. Something to take with me. Their little hands and feet, because and she laughs and she starts squeaking and squealing and she starts using her voice. Oh, I didn't even realize the little eyes move. For Papa, they should be back from daycare pretty soon. Oh, they love when they were absent and in Connecticut. They're at Allie and Laura's house and Anicia and Andre, the two children, very rapidly growing children. I said, do you see what happens when you feed these children? But here I got this I take with me. Let's see, I wanted to, this book here, and I was just talking about, and she thought that was, and like I said, oh, she knows that DOC inside and out. She's been dealing with that DOC in Olympia for probably 40 years, seriously. And ironically enough, well, I'm not even going to bring that up because now it's a whole nother deal. But I was talking to her and she thought, yeah, that's odd, because she has asked for hardships, overrides, all kinds of different. She knows all about that stuff, and yeah, she knows what it takes to get something done there. But I wanted to share here what I got at Larch, because like I said, these were two books that I brought. They went from Larch to Shelton, from Shelton to Walla Walla, back to oh no, they stayed in Walla Walla because I had to send for it. That's right, I had to oh, it took me, it was quite the pickle, Miss Pickle. No, they didn't say Auntie Pickle. They said Auntie something else. But Miss Pickle was... Oh, yeah, that was quite the ordeal there. But I got them. This was in it. Of course, the beadwork was not. Went over that. And this was just in my stuff that I was liquidating. But, yeah, so like I said, I had found this in that closet, and like I mentioned, I'm pretty self-conscious about just stuff that isn't. I find myself, well, if they don't find you handsome, they'll sure find you handy. I will pick stuff up, and even maybe to the point where I'm not, to where it's not even welcoming. Not too much, but like I don't do empty cans and stuff like that, or cans that are partly full, unless it's not my home, where I'm laying my head, or cans that are still have some, not quite all the, and so they'll just get knocked over, and it's just and not just one or two, but you have a few, and they can get, but yeah, definitely trailing. Let's see, what did I want to share? Something. Often run to the book of James, defend the room against the Protestants. No, that wasn't it. Because I don't know enough about that to even... Because it's not greened. It's not greened in, and usually I just... And since I got those markers, man, I just been... They've been working for me. Let's see, faith by works, we went over that. Doctrines of devils, I went over that the other day before yesterday. Abraham called him to being. Oh, this was it right here. Romans 4:17-21. Abraham believed God could resurrect Isaac because he gives life to the dead and calls into being that which does not exist. That's what it was. Faith that trusts God to keep his promises. That coffee should be done soon, because I'm trying to get as much as I can out of being over here on this side of the this little slab here. Oh, right on. These guys are pretty good. Let's see, already went over that. And then there was something else. Maybe it wasn't in there, it was in here. And this, I just thought that, I remember I read this already, but I just thought this was pretty cool right here. Let's see, thus God treats us still. He will dictate a miraculous course by miraculous methods. And I'd like to add, he dictates a miraculous course by a oh, stop it, you're fine, by a not only miraculous, but a well, there she is, right there. Here, let me see. So I can see. Well, hi. There, I was just talking about her.
Papa, look, I got a sticker. I got a sticker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, honey. Did you have a good day at school, baby boy?
Yeah, I did get
You-
that too.
You did? Oh. Oh, B.
The York first got attacked too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Here, I wanted to finish. You want to finish what I was looking at, baby girl? Hmm? You want to read with Papa? Honey? Oh, did you just get done having yourself a popsicle? You didn't, huh? You're burping. Hmm? Huh, honey? Let's see, what was it that I was... Let's see what we got here. Little Lily. I was just talking about you. Not only miraculous, but there was something else. Miraculous methods. Huh, baby? Did I get a widow kissy for my baby princess girl? Can I get a double? A twofer? Oh, I get another one. Oh boy, your mommy's not gonna like that. Oh, Gigi, boy, she's gonna just love that one. Boo, I know it. That's why she's gonna love that one. Jax, relax, Tubby. But right here it says course by miraculous methods.
Yeah.
Huh? Is that right? Hmm? Oh, Papa missed you today, honey. I missed you, honey. You want to read? You want to read a little story? Did you have a good day at school, little Michael?
Was bad.
It was?
Yeah, Michael was bad.
It was all bad. He's never bad. He's just misbehaving.
Michael said, "Do you want me to whip your ass?" to his teacher.
Oh, no. That's not good.
Well, I was waking up for my nap. I didn't take a nap. I was watching a movie.
Oh.
And I was running.
And she told you to stop and come inside, and what'd you tell her?
Because I knocked Roman's car because he said you don't want to be my best friend.
Oh, that's not very nice.
And so then what'd you do because of that? What'd you tell her when she told you to come inside? You said, "I'm gonna whip your ass."
Uh-oh. All these people on here, they're not going to like that.
Right, say bye.
They're going to think that's not things that should be coming out of a beautiful little boy's mouth. Huh? Oh, man, you know I got a weakness for those Twizzlers, little boy. Okay, hey, wait, stop. We're not doing this. You know, we have an agreement. Remember, we have an agreement. There is none of this fussing. There is no fussing with your papa, little girl.
Alright, come over here.
Hi, Daddy.
Mama, she's hungry. I know. She's hungry. She's hungry. And she's 13 pounds and 7 ounces. Oh, here's her. Miraculous. All right, I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon so they can have this living room. But miraculous methods. There was something else I wanted to bring up with this. Not just marvelous, but miraculous. There was something else about that statement. But anyway, so I'm gonna shut this down so he can watch his stuff here, and I kind of wanted to show you the car, but yeah, Jax and everything combined, it's not going to be a good idea. So I will try to run a video tomorrow, and like I said, when I'm on the road, I'm going to talk to Cecilia right now about getting an upgrade. I'll go over it one more time and pray about it and see what if that's even something that's, because I didn't think it would be that much to do an upgrade. And this phone just might be okay. I just know what I've done, how it's. Oh wow, when the lighting's good, that he's right. The camera's really exceptionally clear. It's the lighting's not. But yeah, so I'm gonna have her. I'll go over it one more time, but I'll be running these, God willing, when I have good reception on the road again. On the road. And real quick, before I have a few minutes, I'm gonna look this over just real quick. Tim, pray for him. Oh Lord. But you just have to approach it with real gentle, because I could be viewed the same way and be also it could trip people up, as in, hypocrisy would be concerned if. So yeah, just had to be real and pray, because hey, you never know. You never know, man. Unless if you don't apply what you've learned, then that's different. Then you are definitely, that's insanity. Oh, I love you, don't it, Alex? Oh, Alex, my brother. Let's see. Oh, and Trey. You brought up Trey Smith. I watched some of your, just probably 10 or 15 minutes. I was led to go to, because then I would have shared it. Normally, like I said, sometimes I'll just share stuff that I'm kind of like Alex, that I'm just completely not in agreement with at all. Most of it, in some ways. Not that that's important. It's good to listen and consider. But this here, Trey, you said something about Genesis. And Genesis, and then here's the alpha right here. Right here, he just put that little old thing. The stuff out of the mouth of babes. And spacesuit. You said spacesuit twice, 3 times. 3 times a lady, and I love you. Yes, you once, twice. Jackie boy. You should see his ears. Jackie boy, I got you a treaty. Okay, Trey. Oh yeah, and then you brought up Genesis. I'm thinking Genesis, and you brought it up. Have you even read just the first couple of Genesis? And so how you could come up right off the bat, it's just an instant no-brainer. Kind of like those big old pine cones that would fall out of those jigger pines out of the trees there. Those squirrels would, I'm telling you, I couldn't have guests just walking around out there, because it was, and I loved it. I really enjoyed all the trees. I didn't want to have to, so I had a pickle. I had a little conundrum that I had to try to work out. Well, I either had to shoot those squirrels, which baby girl, oh, they were all just like Dee. She sits outside my window when I'm in there, because I have the window open lately, and she'll see me in there. She wants inside. But Trey, Genesis. Twice you said space. 3 times spacesuit and monkey men. Monkey men? In the same breath. Monkey men, spacesuit, sun. Sun worship. It's puzzling. Monkey man. Pitching. Oh, pitching. Yeah, that was the other thing. Something about pitching. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. That Dire Straits had just come on. Pitching. Yeah. Gotta be real careful, people. Real careful. Cautious. Gotta get paint. And matter of fact, I think they might have took off. Let me go look. They took off. I'm just gonna run it. Run it, baby. Run it. Hold on. 'Cause I might be getting excited a little prematurely. Right here. They must have had to get something and go. Anyway, there's all the stickers of me grandson in the car, the vehicle, Saturn. I think I found the original owner's the original sales deal from the Saturn in Aberdeen. Believe it or not, we were just talking about old Kurt. Aberdeen Saturn. The original registered owner is in the glove compartment, and they were in Hoquiam on Queen. I'll be right back. They took off. That's why I had to do a little jig. I love the, but now I'm able to. I was able to not only find the time but make it. So I'll be right back. And that coffee. I made that coffee. I'll be right back. Ooh, that's not very good. Well, didn't I just say he's not bad? He's just misbehaving, so that would almost be contradictory. It just wasn't probably the best choice of words. They say use your words, but that's probably not, I think, what the idea was all about. Go lay down. Go lay down. I just let you out. No, he's good around those children. Very good. Real good. No, I don't really care how I... But those hairs, not one singed. A Bendigo's. Could you imagine that? It's way behind it. Not even close. It's behind it. Yes, I'm learning. It's a slow process. It's an ongoing... Wow, I haven't heard this one in a long time, this Chicago. So Yoda, Running Beaver. Yeah, that was something else. I thought Lalawithica was a... And Tecumseh and all that was a... So yeah. Fun, our Native American people. It's good. Awesome points you bring up, Mr. L. Awesome points. You make learning fun, just like Tori and all that. When I just haven't been able to listen. There's other things that I've had to take precedence over. There's other things going on also. But yeah, there's only 150,000 miles, and there's pretty easy miles on there other than the smoke. We put that atomizer, or that whatever it's called. It's that little missed out for. I said the atomizer, that machine in there, and it seemed to get a lot more of that smoke smell out. I'm real particular when it comes to odors and stuff. Especially cigarettes. Whew. Nothing worse than having a stinky smell of an old greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray. Ugh. Old Chet. He said, well, what part of it, Roy? Well, the first part of it. The Chet part of it. She said, a soiree. I said, a soiree, a party. Oh, a party. Your son. We don't have a son. Let's see, twice. Yeah, we already went over that. So yeah, that is definitely, where's that pen? There it is. Definitely not my cup of tea. And I noticed that right off the bat. There was a few things right when I was led to go to the, because I caught just the first probably, I don't know, so many minutes, and then was led to, as I'm doing a bunch of other things. And my grandson, of course, wants me to post because I'll do that. Most people don't, and I wouldn't recommend doing that, but I'm led to for other reasons also. And we don't live by the faith killer fear. No, when that reflection you're becoming, we seek ye first the kingdom and all its glory, everything else starts to become, and then you start just living, and it isn't That's why I love so much not to go in and edit certain things, because we're becoming that reality, all that newness, the twinkling of an eye. It's gonna be. Cena was good, just like you said, Mr. L. With those Zeiss, you start to see things, even in the state they're in. You still are able to enjoy the beauty of, and that diet that you. Not that I'm promoting, although I've seen it's wonderful, marvelous. There's that marvelous, miraculous, just hand of healing through a vegetarian, not vegan. Oh no, I seen the healing properties of honey, and it's sweet to some, bitter to others. And old Miss Pickle, she got a little dose, but you still see, and not to be anything other than righteously judging, you got it, because you got it. You seek ye first the kingdom, everything else will be, and then that righteousness judgment will come in enough to where you are able to recognize bad company, so that your good character, that reflection won't get too, because you can get tripped up just like that fleshly lust, that sex and all that stuff. Oh, it can seem so. Can you imagine being standing like that, buck naked? It's like old Walsh. Naked as the day you were born. And that's it right there. Who told you you were naked? He said, who told you this? Of course. Love you, John. Of course. Did you eat from the tree of the root of David? Root and offspring of David. Definitely doesn't fall far from the tree. And that's the thing. Gotta be real careful, Alex. Real cautious, anyway. Real cautious. Because it even isn't so much what we believe, it's what we teach people. If that's what our calling is. Because then they'll get that. Because there's those that says that when they lead the sheep are, so we all have gifts and talents. And you want to lead the sheep. He said, like I said years ago, I would have just been weeping. He said, look, do you see your, all honor, glory, and praise, Manny, getting this equipment. We noticed you over there twice. Well, where two or more gather. But I would have loved to sit in. That was real humble of him not to accept that mic. I got that mic in that. I'm going to give that away. But it was also humble of my son and I both to be able to stand and take a compliment like that and be in full realization at the moment, anyway, to just carry on and enjoy each other's company. That carnal, it's that carnal. Once you get that carnality behind you, people might say, "Well, you're in the world." Well, yeah, not so much anymore. Not in that sense. You gotta know that we're of this world, but you can't be in it in that respect. Well, yet we were housed in this, and we were given this motive of operandi, this body. So it would almost seem counterintuitive why we would be But there's this state of being we have to operate in, this existence, at least from my perspective, and being able to be the master of your own destiny through the obedience and the sanctification of seeking ye first the kingdom and everything else. So there's an order of things, just like on Celebrate Truth, when maybe it was Globebusters, I think it was Celebrate, and about Ezekiel. And like I said, I was led to look at that in the phone or the computer. It was, like I said, if I'm here, then I can get on that if I'm led to, and go on a. But if I'm not, then I can't. And some things, some live chats, like if I go on Mr. Help, I won't even be able to. Oh, and glad I brought that up. Thank you, Father. Casey, and I haven't left any messages for a reason. I don't want to not leave one on one or one on the other. If I'm led not to do that, otherwise that's exactly what I'll do. But usually I'm in between it's buffering, or I'm in between the computer. I'm somewhere else to where I can't. And then I found out that when I refreshed my computer, it happened again, not just on Mr. L. I've known this for quite a long time, over a year now, that none of my stuff from my mobile will be received on your live chats. And I noticed that now with Casey on Enter the Stars. I noticed it didn't work on here also, and I believe this also, my computer, I didn't see it on here also. So we're back to that. On that also, usually Mr. L, it's just and I prayed about that one, and we're already moving mountains with that, because of that. Just like you said, you mentioned it months and months ago. And see, that's the thing. It's why would they? Something so simple. It's like, Forrest, why would they? I've got, all this money they could be. And I said, well, they do what they do to whom they. And now I'm finding out that they can't even. But to be cautious and not get cocky, and just let you have your card just floating around, and so I'm learning. It only has so much. And losing its luster, like I said, but still I need to be cautious and not get all cocky and get too ahead of myself. Let's see. So the paint, I'm gonna get that. There's a paint store I gotta go to. Like I said, it's off South Tacoma Way. And bless the guy's heart at O'Reilly's, or maybe it was AutoZone. He said, "Oh yeah, we got those," and I knew they had. They don't have those in it's amazing on the different stuff that's, of course, that's just they carry what they sell. Most of, I understand that. Why would they congest the inventory with stuff that isn't moving in certain parts of the country? But so I have to go and get that paint, and I want to toy out that Yoda. Just led to do that, just like some of the stuff like today I was able to share Tori's and and a few of the other podcast, the live streams this morning, because we were out and about. But yeah, so that's happening. I'm noticing on this computer. And thank you, Heavenly Father, for the ability to get this. What a blessing. And thank you guys for your prayers. That's also such a blessing for my brothers and my brothers in arms. The who I can see for miles. I'm kind of like Steve Miller. I can see for Miller. Miller time. So yeah, that was that. I'll get to this page. That was just really kind of odd, I thought. But it didn't surprise me with Trey. Love you, brother, but it did not surprise me at all. And right in concession, one right after the other, just almost like at the carnival. They were there a lot longer than most carnivals here. The little traveling carnival that came into DeQueen, they were there for like 2-3 weekends, at least 2. Usually here they'll just come in for one and then go right to the next little town. But move out of the little area, the little parking lot. They'll zone off and then move on up, Auburn, Renton, and just so on and so forth like that. Here, there, it was there a while. Let's see. I got that. My little Lily, I already shared that with you. They came in. What a blessing. I was trying to find another word for miraculous. Oh, Bowie. Oh, Ziggy. Stardust. Oh. Has trouble. Well, there's some changes, alright. Let's see. Try not to slouch. It's good to sit on one of them balls. I'm gonna get me one of those. I've been saying that when I went to the therapist here months and months ago. One of my early segments. But yeah, thank you very much, Manny, for all that. If I wasn't mistaken and not completely just imagining, I could have swore I seen on your left arm an angel tattoo. And yes, I know, Mr. L, I'm the same. Otherwise I'd be all tatted up. I didn't even get that dragon finished on my back. If you would have seen was a four-piece deal, the finished piece was amazing. But yeah, right, and she walked in, a little angel. Miraculous, marvelous, darling. Yeah, that's definitely, there accompanies their order, the law. That's what is accompanying, is the order of that law is what's being accompanied on the Celebrate Truth. Going back to that, thank you, Heavenly Father, that's it. Or it was Globebusters, I think it was Celebrate Truth. Matter of fact, I'm certain it was. And they said in there, I noticed that it brought my attention, right? Enoch, it reads, and that's what accompanies that law, is the order. Because there's an order of everything, and things that are out of order are broken. There has to be an order. It's like there has to be a law, or you wouldn't know what disorder is. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what, if you didn't have some sort of a theme, some sort of a a guideline. I mean, some laws are just good for the common sense. I mean, you don't want to go ripping down the freeway when it's only, at 127 miles an hour, when it's only designed for. So in some cases, and in the case of the old truck, 55 was the magic, and fully loaded. Could you imagine? So it's designed to go 55, and wow, even with those 2 tanks, he said, man, I did some rough math, and he knows, my bro knows math. He finally got those mirrors down, that bathroom done. He said, you should not, by the law of just mileage and physics and newtons. Oh, well, she finally just texted me. It's 5 o'clock. Well, I'll have to go in. Josh doesn't get off work till later, and I was going to stop by and see them again. But yeah, he said there's no way you should have made it. Fuel-wise, even diesel, it doesn't matter. When I say gas, I mean in that case it diesel, but diesel is not gas, bro. I said, well, it is to me. It's fuel. It ignites when you put some heat to it. So yeah, that whole deal with Rick, I'm glad he's getting out. Maybe I will meet up with him. He loves going to Denny's. We went over that. Bless his heart. You gotta bless people. They try to set you. Then they get mad. This just happened recently when you're not. Well, what's wrong with her? Well, nothing's wrong with her. I don't know. You asked me what's wrong with her. I didn't say anything was wrong with her. That's not my. And they get all bent out of shape. Almost like they take it personal when you're not. Some people, they don't even really realize. Even people that you would think, that they believe you're close, and you tell them, and you do, but there's just things they don't believe. They're like, what? How long? What, you've been... You serious? Even Tim yesterday, he's like, are you serious? Check this out. And I said, yeah. And I listened. And I said, bro. I said, old noodles. Catfish, not noodles. It's not a reversal. There's a difference. Oh, yes, sweetheart. There's a lot of faith has been established. More than just... For now, we're going to see everything. Oh, man, once you get a little glimpse, that's why I do what I'm led to do. So that's why. Don't take stuff personal when I don't. Because I don't do things malice or despite or to be vindictive or anything like that. I just do what I do. And so all that'll be made clear, because I used to question my own faith sometimes. And now it's the other way around. Now it seems like things that weren't quite clear, but I hear that voice, and I know that, get used to that sense, that sense of peace and joy. There's no anxious utterance at all. You just start to hear, or certain things will just fall right off, just completely, not even things that would have bothered me before. I'm just like, wow, that's amazing how I'm able to. I don't even receive that right there, and that could have been perceived as a direct attack in my, just like I mentioned with people take a direct things personal, like when you're you're walking. And yeah, so it's amazing. And people's hearts, they're in the right place. A lot of times they're in the right place, so you just answer with the kind, and your heart's in the right spot, then it usually is received right. And if not, it will be soon enough. So as long as you're good with that, then they're gonna have to be good with it eventually. And you're in the right standing, then it's good. Let's see. Look not so healthy. Oh, that's right. That pile of Pelosi. You notice it almost didn't even look like, but didn't seem, they're all strategic, even though they're back there waiting for her to. It's almost like a pinball. It just kind of gets. I used to be able to tilt them. Even when they had the tilt, it was real touchy. You could get them. You could slide them just right where the feet will actually just slide right out from under them, and that ball will just. The whole machine will move, and it'll keep it from. You just almost like just. It's all the China stays right, kind of like that in some senses. Just move that whole machine over. Yeah, honeybee. I already went over that. Good. It was good to see that. Just to stimulate the people's fellowship. It's nice to see that. Oh, sir, we went over that. Mr. Al, God, it's always a pleasure listening to being able to commune with you. And I'll go back and probably watch that again because I wasn't able to. We had to get moving today. They're still doing doing all the final preparations down there at that shop, so I was able to get in there and take advantage of that. Let's see, there's that, went over that. Health department. Now see, I wanted to share that with you because of how it wasn't like the reason I said it sounded like someone that was just behind a desk, or it wasn't a recording, and it just sounded to me like just like somebody that wasn't really into or had been doing that particular job for a while. And even though that old Rick, can you imagine, had that come up while he was feeling sick, kind of like the flu. That's what I was told it was like, kind of like the flu, just like the flu. But why they would call me or anybody in my family, she said, that or isn't able to get down here for a trip up to the old Space Needle. That thing goes around and around slowly. I think in an hour it makes one rotation, a circle. Definitely a circle. Ah, boy, what a mock. They just mock and mock and mock. Well, not so much anymore. Let's see. So, Tim went over old Tim. Pray for Tim. I think he's going to learn a valuable lesson. He's just such a good guy. Like I mentioned, he taught in Japan in a college over there. He I don't know what he was teaching, but definitely he helped me out a lot with that habeas corpus. Matter of fact, like I mentioned, the court clerk was really impressed with the wording and everything, and took me 3 times to do that with his help. And a matter of fact, he won his own appeal. I had old Stephanie C. Cunningham. What a blessing. Her and Mary Robinette, and of course the good Lord, number one, because I can't even to this day tell you how I got her, because she's not in a firm or nothing. She's her own firm. She's her own little entity. She specializes in appeals, and one of the best appeal attorneys, not just in the state of Washington, probably in the country. And I know now how I got her, but just the timing and everything, it's amazing. So let's see, health department. I want to share that with you. I wonder if it'll go through. Huh. Let me suck this down and try it. Oh, the Clash. The old Clash. Uh-huh. Let's see. Pardon me. Let me see. Voicemail. Ooh, it might let me. No. Nope, it's playing games. Usually it would have went through a long way before that. And like I said, it's been acting really funky. Way more than usual since I've been here. But like I said, a new phone isn't gonna help that part of it out, I'm almost certain. And then let's see. Yeah, she looked really pile of talk about old. She's gonna be Pello and Z nighty night. At least I don't know, it's just didn't even almost didn't even seem like they had her juiced up on something. It just didn't seem she didn't seem right. Seen that little clip, I was like, I thought she was down in a hole. Anyway, so they should be back here pretty soon. There's something else I wanted to. Oh, I already took a photo of that. That was Hebrews 10:26. So I'm gonna end that. Let's see. Oh, 2:18. So it's about the same time as yesterday. So I'm gonna end that. They should be back pretty soon. It was a blessing. I got to show off my little Lily, and Silly and Michael and Mike. He's stepping up. That's nice. So yeah, what a blessing. Now my mom and Jeffy, and at least my bros know I'm in town, so I don't know, we'll see. I might hang around till this weekend, and we'll see though. I'll do what I'm led to do. Just a 3-day run, and I want to make sure I have fun doing it, which I will. I'm having fun every day, every second of every day. Queen, fat bottom girls. Ugh. And why? Why, people? Why? And honestly, I'd tell you, yeah, I me and Norman, we spun the track, we held hands, we listened to a little Queen. I'm not gonna lie. No, that's not it at all. I never did like Queen. I hated that crap when that Another One Bites the Dust was playing in that portable 8-track, which, by the way, would be worth quite a few ducats. Some nice snap would be wrung out of that one if you had that same little. I remember that that portable 8-track. But that song, oof. Of course, I associate the song with a time and place. So, the old Gene Slover and his little old poor Lonnie Bean, little mess down there. But for now, anyway. So, yeah, no snow this time around. Be going up and over. No snow at all. It was a miracle that thing barely started up when it liked to be plugged in. It was a cold start, but boy, once it fired up, you couldn't do anything to stop it from running. That motor, good motor. It was definitely an experience there. Yeah, Seattle too, and something. Mr. Clarence Thwing, 2312 East Lake Avenue, Seattle 2. Alright, well, people, man, I don't know what you all just did, but oh yeah, I would soon enough, like I said, I just have to keep the flesh in order so that, boy, it's all gonna be so well worth it. So anyway, love you guys. You have a blessed. I don't want no dust on my keyboard there. So yeah, you guys have a blessed evening. And I thought there was something else. I already did that. I showed you the mic. You seen the Logitech camera, and I've got the old one. I'm giving that away to somebody. What a humble experience there. What a blessing. Also, all goes to our Heavenly Father. All right, you guys have a great evening or morning or wherever you happen to be, and let's see. Yeah, it's the lighting. He showed me, he said on some, if you was to download some other stream, it might even be clear, and if I had a hard line to it, it would be even that much more, the resolution would be that much more clear. Alright, you guys have a great day. God bless. And every day, always praying. Phoebe, all you, Barbara, Deborah, Brandy, all of you, and her, may she rest in peace, son, all of it. So many more. I could sit in my, oh man, just, like I said, there was times when I would lay there as an offender in Sticks, Renegade. I would lay in that bunk and thank our Heavenly Father for a place to lay my head, because I knew there was people that didn't have a place. And I would just sit there and go through and see how many people that I could remember and pray for, and see how long. And it would, man, I would be there sometimes for, and just wanted to see how, and boy, it was amazing on how many people I remembered, how many places I'd been, and how many, I was amazed. I was like, oh man, this is amazing. So, and I heard this, well, you're amazing, and so this is how we're doing this now. We're all becoming amazing. Okay, so I love you guys. You have a good evening, and we'll see you soon. I don't want to promise tomorrow, but you never know. I'm going to try to, but either way, on that trip, I might have to get out with you and get out and stretch. Take the or get out and stretch and do some squats. And I don't know if I'm gonna have to pee in a bottle in front of you guys. Of course, you won't. But that would be. I think that might be pushing it a little bit. We'll have to see. Because I want to try to get 10 or 12 hours. Again, I don't want to plan too much, but depends on how far ahead we can plan. There's that plan again. Our Heavenly Father willing, that if I might be able to shave off a little bit of time and still make it to where if our Heavenly Father is in agreement, it says, boy, touch an agreement, then I'll have a spot to do a video in the morning on this at a affordable. I don't really like going to motels, but like I said, I'll run towels in an L shape from the, and I know how to lay on the floor. I'm not kidding. Just and then early in the morning before I take off, because I love those early, just that soft, that calm stillness that early mornings offer. I love them so much. Said he has the morning star, a face like the sun. Of course, like I said, we know the Prince of the Air is referred to the same as, just because it just depends on how it's received, perceived, and applied. So anyway, okay, well, I'm going to get off right now, and I will, like I said, see you all soon, and I'm always praying, always, and you do the same for people. You pray, and if your heart's not in it, well, don't do it, unless you're led to. Comfortably Numb, 1979. Yeah, like I said, that little record player. That little record player. This is one of the 45s I had. This one here. But those big full albums are already one of them. Anyway, so he's there he goes. Then I'll be able to rip some music on here. Just sing some songs and just belt it out. I just love to sing. The distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. 253-441-6171. I had to feel. My hands felt just like two balloons. 99 red balloons. I can't explain. You would not. Okay, I'm gonna go. Love you guys. Have a good night.